ever get myself into this mess? Would you look at this place? Things weren't going well in my life. Everything was a hassle. I hated my job, and I wasn't making enough money. Life was a real bore. And then I met Bill. I had remembered seeing him in several times before, but today he sat at a table I was waiting. He had a great smile. I tried to take his order, but he kept asking me personal questions. He sure was a good talker. He asked me if I'd meet him that evening for a drink. I'd seen him before and thought he was real cute and seemed nice enough, so I figured, why not? We dated a few times, and I really started to like him. But I realized that I hardly knew anything about him. And whenever I asked about his life, he would conveniently change the subject. Then I really started having trouble with my boss. I was frustrated with my job, and without thinking about where I'd go or what I'd do, I quit. But whenever I was with Bill, he made it seem like everything would be all right. Then he opened up to me and told me about a way to make easy money and lots of it. He talked about the forgery scheme he was involved in. I was surprised and at the same time interested by what he did for a living. He asked me if I'd like to work a few hours a day to pick up some extra cash. I asked what I had to do. He said that for the last 4 years he worked passing stolen and counterfeit checks at banks throughout the county. He went on to explain his involvement with the forgery ring and how easy his job was. He said all he had to do was make a phone call to set up a meeting with the ringleader. At the time, all I saw were the dollar signs. The money sure sounded good, but I wondered about the risks. Bill told me not to worry, that the organization would protect me once I became a member. Well, it didn't take much to convince me. I mean, at that point in my life, I figured I didn't have anything to lose. That evening, we drove to a house in a secluded, hilly area. I was a nervous wreck, not knowing what to expect.
Hey guys, what's going down?
Hey buddy, how's it going?
And this pretty lady must be Renee.
Renee, I'd like you to meet my boss, Bert. Bert, this is Renee Bert.
Hi, Bert.
Hello,
It's
Renee.
real nice to meet you.
And this is my friend Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Renee, Bill tells me that you're interested in joining our team. Wise decision, sweetheart.
She's real sharp. I think she'll do just fine. Just fine.
She's got my vote.
Well, let's get down to business. Sit down.
Thank you.
Steve, did you call those numbers I gave you? I'm getting low on personal information.
Yeah, boss. I said it was John Clark from the Charge Card Center. No problem. No questions asked. We now have where they work, we have their social security numbers, their account numbers, the banks, mother's maiden name, and birthplace. We have everything we need. We're going to have a great month.
Great. Well, now let's see. Renee, Bill here's going to teach you the secrets of the trade. Once he feels you're ready, you'll get a chance to show your stuff.
It won't take her long. Like I said, she's real sharp.
Does this mean I'm in?
No question about it. If Bill here feels you can do the job, his word is good enough for me. He always recruits the best, you know.
Yeah, Bill can really spot the talent.
So when do we start?
Right now. Is that soon enough for you?
Before we start, Bill, we got some info on the checks. Joe managed to have about 500 phony checks printed up. We may use more, but 500 is plenty for now.
Who's working the field?
We've got 5 guys out there right now. 2 are working as a team with the supermarket break-ins for check cashing applications. The other 3 are hitting the residential mailboxes for newly printed checks, Social Security checks, and I'm working on the signatures right now for this last batch of phony checks that Joe got for us.
Bill, what's he talking about? I mean, how does all that stuff fit into what we're doing?
Like what?
Well, like breaking into supermarkets for check cashing applications.
Okay. Look, let's take this one step at a time, okay? Now, when a supermarket customer wants a check cashing card, they're asked by the market to fill out and sign an application like this. Now, the application asks for a lot of personal information, which is worth $1 million to folks like us.
What kind of information?
Where they live, where they work, name of their bank account numbers, sometimes even mother's maiden names, birthplaces.
I think I'm beginning to understand. All we have to do is order checks from the bank in the names that are on the application, and then watch the mailbox for the checks to arrive, and then that's when the guys steal them.
Oh, you're great. You're great. I knew you were perfect for this. Now, after we get our hands on the checks, Bert over here forges the signatures on them using the signatures from the stolen check applications. And then he makes them out to the names that we have here on our phony ID. And then we go out and do our thing. It's as easy as that.
Yeah, but I still don't understand why Steve has to make the phone calls if we already have the information on the check cashing applications.
Well, look, we don't just stop at counterfeiting and supermarket break-ins. I mean, the guys get legitimate checks whenever and however they can. This could be stealing them from mailboxes or paying employees of companies for blank payroll checks, even breaking into homes or businesses. Now, when we do that, all we have is the paper, so we got to make some phone calls and get the personal information we need to cash the checks at the bank. Now, that's part of Steve's job. That's where he comes in. He calls up and pretends to be an IRS agent or some charge card company rep, and you'd be surprised how many people are crazy enough to give away personal information over the phone to a complete stranger. Now, Steve mainly works as a driver for me. For you too, soon.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you need the counterfeit payroll checks.
Well, legitimate payroll checks are the hardest to get our hands on, but the easiest to cash at the bank, so it's real important to have them. But when we run low on legits, we go to Joe for phonies, for counterfeit.
Oh, this is all very interesting. I really do have a lot to learn.
Some vino to celebrate the occasion. Renee? Oh, come on, honey, relax. All you have to do for the next few days is watch, listen, and learn. A toast. A toast to easy money. To easy money.
I sure learned a lot over the next few days. Bill taught me all about phony ID, making deposits with cash back, how to distract, intimidate, and sweet-talk my way to getting a check cashed. In no time, I was on my own. Soon the money I was making wasn't even important. It was the game of ripping off the big banks. Everything was going just fine. I'll never forget that Monday. We had plans to hit 3 banks. Bill was excited. It was our biggest haul ever. I still can't think of an easier way to make that kind of money.
Okay, now, Steve, remember, if I nod once, that means everything's okay. Meet me around the corner. If I don't nod, you don't know me. Get lost.
Got it.
Good luck.
if I get a teller who's on her toes, the first thing she'll ask me to do is sign in front of her. And she'll probably check the balance on that little computer and then go to see if the signature matches the signature card. Let's see, what else? She may ask for my fingerprint. No. She may have to get it approved. Well, this is a legit check, and I know the money's in the account from the phone call to the bank this morning. So, the biggest thing I have to worry about is her asking me to sign in front of her. That's a piece of cake. I'll just have to distract her.
Next, please.
It's now or never.
Hello, sir. May I help you?
Hi, yeah, I'd like to deposit this check and get some money back, too, please.
Sir?
Where's Karen? I don't see her today.
Oh, Karen? I believe she's out to lunch. Why? Do you know her?
Oh, yeah, I've been banking here for a long time. She just helped me get the money I needed for my new car. As a matter of fact, that check is from my uncle. He bought my old car for my cousin's 16th birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
Could you make that hundreds, please?
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
You bet I'll have a nice day, honey. Oh-de-do. Thanks for the loan, Karen. Hope you had a nice lunch.
Hi. Looks like payday.
Oh, I tell you, it never comes soon enough. I'm on my way to the racetrack, and I'm feeling real lucky today. You know, I have to make that first race. Tell me, what do you think about that horse right there?
Daddy Greenbacks? I don't know much about the races, but it sounds like a great name for a horse.
Yeah, it sounds like a winner to me, too.
Here's your ID.
Oh, thanks.
Hi, can I help you?
Hi, Grace. I'd like to cash this work of art.
What happened to it?
My little nephew did it. A Van Gogh, he isn't.
Oh,
I was babysitting. I turned my back for 5 minutes to do a few dishes, and he got into my purse. First, he scribbled on this check, and then some papers I had with an ink pen, and then he found my lipstick. You wouldn't believe the damage he did with that.
he must have been a handful. Well, we can still read the information we need on this, so the check is okay.
I think it's going to be a while before I babysit for him again.
From the looks of this, I don't blame you. Would you like this in large bills?
Oh, that would be great. I'm just going to go shopping and splurge on myself.
Oh, that's nice. Have a good time.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and 700.
I hope to be back in on Monday to make a big deposit.
Well, good luck. Let me know how it goes.
Thank you.
You said it would be easy. As I stood in line, I wondered about things that could go wrong with the transaction. The two things that concerned me most were being asked to leave my fingerprint and whether or not the payroll check I was using for deposit had been reported missing. Well, I wasn't going to worry about that. I mean, the guys always steal them from the back of the checkbook, and it usually takes a couple of weeks for the company to discover missing checks. Well, as if I didn't have enough on my mind, this little kid kept staring at me. Bill had taught me how to slightly smudge my fingerprint, and since I had never been arrested for anything, my prints were not on file, so I felt good about that. I finally reached the front of the line.
Hello, may I help you?
Hi, I'd like to deposit part of this into my savings account and take the rest in cash. The written description and the picture on the phony ID matched me perfectly, so I wasn't concerned about being asked to sign for money back. I knew the account I was using had more than enough money. I had checked by phone that same morning. The teller checked the computer to see if the check was good and to find out the balance in the savings account. The expression on his face convinced me that there were no problems with either one. He asked me to sign for money back, which I did without hesitation. He compared the signature on the deposit ticket to the signature on the ID. I handed him the passbook open to the page where the tellers put their stamps. He hardly looked at it. The teller asked for my fingerprint and explained that he would have to get everything approved. Then he went to his supervisor's desk.
The lady at my window wants to deposit this check into her savings account and take $1,000 less cash. The ID looks good, and I verified everything, but I noticed in her passbook it shows that she's made 3 deposits today, all at different offices. I left the book on a counter so I wouldn't call attention to what I saw.
Let me take a look. I received a call today reporting that 100 of these checks were stolen from the company. Go along like you're going to handle the transaction, but please stall for time. I'll go over to Mary's desk and call the police.
Okay, I'll make some excuse about having to buy some money. Everything's fine. I just have to go to the vault for some money. Would you like it any special way?
Well, large bills would be nice.
No problem. I can get those from the merchant teller.
Thanks. What's taking him so long? I wonder what I should do. I didn't question anything. Calm down, Renee. You're just letting yourself get paranoid. It's going to be just fine.
Miss,
Yes?
Frank asked me to tell you that he'd be right back. He had to verify some money from the merchant teller.
Okay, thank you. See? It's just fine. I really started to panic for a minute. Even my legs are stiff. I'm glad everything is all right. But what scares me is Bill's warning about making a run for it if it starts to take too long.
Police officers. Turn around, ma'am. You're under arrest. Place your hands on the counter, please.
Have your purse. Hands on the counter. Put your right hand behind your back. Your other hand.
I didn't even struggle. Then I could see Bill and Steve driving off. I knew I was on my own. I felt so alone and helpless. At that moment, I remembered something Bill had told me a long time ago. The organization will protect you,
The organization will protect you.
It won't be long before I'm back to work.